Dear friends, welcome to Easy English class. Now we shall go through the essay Everything I Need to Know I Learnt in the Forest by Vandana Shiva. Vandana Shiva, born on 5th November 1952, is an Indian scholar, environmental activist, eco-feminist and anti-globalization author. Based in Delhi, Shiva has written more than 20 books. She is often referred as Gandhi of Grain for her activism associated with the anti-globalization movement. In this essay, she discusses about variety of topics like the Chipko movement, monocultures, the biodiversity, the rights of the nature on the global stage, Tagore's essay Tapovan, and so on. Vandana Shiva started her ecological journey in the forest of Himalayas. Her father was a forest conservator and her mother was a farmer and composed poems and songs on forest and trees. Vandana Shiva began her ecological movement by involving in Chipko movement. What is Chipko movement? Chipko movement was started by Sundarlal Bahuguna, and Chipko movement is a non-violent response to the large-scale deforestation that was taking place in the Himalayan region. The peasant women in the Garhwal Himalaya had come out in defense of trees. Logging had led to the landslides and floods and scarcity of water, fodder and fuel. The scarcity meant longer walks for collecting water and firewood and a heavier burden. Women knew that the real value of the forest was not the timber from the dead tree, but the springs and streams, food and fodder. The women declared that they would hug the trees and the loggers would have to kill them before killing the trees. Vandana Shiva mentions one of the dramatic actions that took place in Himalayan village of Advani in 1977. A village woman called Bachini Devi led the resistance against her own husband who had obtained a contract to cut the trees. Vandana Shiva became the volunteer for the Chipko movement and spent every vacation doing padayatras, documenting the deforestation and spreading the message of the Chipko. Beyond monocultures. Protection of biodiversity and biodiversity-based living economies has become the life mission of Vandana Shiva, and she learnt that from the Chipko. According to her, failure to understand the biodiversity and its functions will lead to the impoverishment of nature and culture. That means, if we fail to understand biodiversity, we are destroying the nature and also our culture. She realized that they need a farm to give demonstration and training to the farmers about biodiversity. So, Navadanya farm was started in 1994 in Doon Valley. They conserve and grow 630 varieties of rice, 150 varieties of wheat and hundreds of other species. There, they practice and promote biodiversity-based farming as biodiversity is the only answer to the food and nutrition crisis. So, biodiversity is the teacher of abundance, freedom, mutual giving, and cooperation. Rights of nature on the global stage. When we consider nature as our teacher, we co-create with her and respect and recognize her rights. Having been influenced by this idea, Ecuador has recognized the rights of nature in its constitution. Subsequently, Bolivia initiated to declare the rights of the Mother Earth universally. Inspired by the initiatives of Ecuador and Bolivia, the United Nations in April 2011 organized a conference on harmony with nature as part of the Earth Day celebrations. In the conference, it is declared that environmentally destructive behavior is the result of failure to understand that human beings are an inseparable part of nature. Therefore, if we damage nature, we are severely damaging ourselves. In addition to that, separatism is the reason for disharmony with nature and violence against nature and people. As a prominent South African environmentalist, Cormac Cullinan points out that apartheid means separateness. People were being separated on the basis of color. The world joined anti-apartheid movement to end this. In the same way, we need to overcome the deeper and wider apartheid, that is, an eco-apartheid. It is based on the illusion of a separateness of humans from nature in the minds and lives. Today, we are waging war against nature because of the illusion that we are separate from nature. But we have failed to understand that we are the part and parcel of this nature. We consider the earth to be a dead material. Francis Bacon, who is called the father of the modern science, said that the science is greater than the nature and the science is capable of conquering and shaking the nature. But historian Caroline Merchant says this idea suits only to the capitalistic nature, and he says that the nature is a living and a nurturing mother. It is necessary that we have to change our attitude towards nature, and it is possible only when we consider nature as our teacher. There should be a shift from anthropocentrism to ecocentrism. Earth University teaches Earth democracy. Humans, as the members of this Earth family, have to recognize, respect, and protect the rights of all other species on this Earth. Vandana Shiva mentions the essay Tapovan, written by Rabindranath Tagore. Here, Tagore says, Indian civilization has the source of regeneration in the forest but not in the city. India's best ideas have come from where man was in communion with nature, away from the crowds. The peace of the forest helped the intellectual evolution of the man. The culture of the forest is reflected in the culture of the Indian society. We have learnt the idea of unity in diversity from the forest only. According to Tagore, the forest is not just the source of knowledge and freedom. It is the source of beauty and joy, of art and aesthetics, of harmony and perfection. The forest teaches us union and compassion. The forest also teaches enoughness. We have to enjoy the gifts of nature without exploitation and accumulation. Tagore quotes from the ancient texts, "Know all that moves in this moving world as enveloped by the God, and find enjoyment through renunciation, not through greed of possession." Finally, the end of consumerism and accumulation is the beginning of joy of living. Thank you.